Well, well, well. Would you look?
America, tea, grown here in the USA. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of American classic tea, first flush, first harvest of the season, Charleston Tea Gardens tea. Have you heard of American classic tea, first flush, first garden harvest of the season, Charleston Tea Garden flush? Well, I have, and I'm gonna drink it. That's what's going on. This is the first in we'll call it a saga, to sort of harken back to terrible fantasy novels from the 1980s that have embarrassing looking covers. It's the first edition of a saga wherein I drink tea grown in the USA, which is a thing, and which is more than this guy, or gal, or, whatever. Who am I to say? This may come as a shock to you, dear viewer, but they don't grow a whole heck of a lot of tea in the US. Whoa. We're already at spider or ant or something. Tea generally likes tropical regions, which, in the continental US, not a ton of those. We're not drowning in them. They're not my frickin' ex-wife, am I right? Because she drowned in a lake. That's the joke. Okay, what do we smell here on this first flush? The first sniff of the first flush. You smell kind of a toasted cereal thing. It's got a little bit of the kind of green tea grass, I'd say. There we go. Oh my god. Oh, there's a rock right under my thigh. Ooh, none of this is conducive to making tea in any reasonable manner, but that's okay. Tea also, it can do well in subtropical regions, which there's more of in the continental U.S., North America in general. But good tea, what it really likes is high elevation, and those two don't cross over a ton here in good old America, unfortunately. Like this tea, for example, certified grown, South Carolina. Wow, that's really dark. Yeah, this is a prelude of things to come. That's what happens when you chop your tea up more than my frickin' ex-wife. Am I correct? What do we smell? What do we smell? More of the same. It's a little more of a baked thing going on right now. Now, how do I differentiate baked from roasted? I don't know. Shut up. That's how. Yeah, that's right. This is a hostile channel. So, this tea, it's a tough one, because it's been, as you can tell, really chopped up. This is not hand-picked stuff by our friends at the Bigelow family, who have come back to, sort of get their vengeance on me by, letting me give them more money for their products. Yeah, they got me good on this one, huh? But it's been machine harvested. It has been thoroughly chopped up, and then I assume processed further, so there's an even amount of chopping that's going on in there, which makes it, look at this. Look at the shape we've created. Look at this mess that's in here. Look at all of the debris that is in there. Not in there. You're safe, little lamp. Similar set of smells. This is not smelling like much. So it's been chopped up. Look at it. Look! I don't understand why you're not looking. You never listen. You never listen to anything. God. So frustrating. So this tea, obviously not made to be brewed like this, because, I mean, this has to be put into some sort of, infuser type steeper deal, but I don't know, I'm obstinate. Ooh. Let's take a sip. Okay. We're getting a bit of grass. We're getting some toasted cereal. It's hanging out a decent amount. We're not getting a whole heck of a lot of bitterness, which is nice. That happens very easy with this tea. This is a tough one to brew. You really have to. Usually I go for about a tablespoon. I'm not doing weight measurements. I can't carry a scale around with me. I have to carry 4,000 of these stupid grow toys. They're way more important than a scale that does accurate measurements. So I go for about a tablespoon for just 1 cup for me. You can't do too much more than that because it gets really bitter. It's really astringent, real quick. Oh, speaking of, we got a bit there. Part of the problem is that because of all of this junk in here, I think the tea is, it's still brewing after I pour it. I guess I could get like a sieve or like a fine mesh strainer to pour the tea through, but that's ridiculous. I'm not in favor of being ridiculous. Really ate our way through that. Oh, God. It's like it was my ex-wife or something. Am I right? Oh, dear. Well, that's the problem here, is you're gonna be eating this tea. You're not just drinking it. This tea is what's for dinner. Alright. Let's go for another steep. Let's keep this train going. Choo choo choo. Ooh. Got a little bit of a pop action on there, that's fun. It's hard to pour this too. There's all this junk everywhere. I just hit the camera. That's real professional. I hope that stem is included with the tea and not just a nature stem that is really messing up my jam here. It's fun to watch it move around though. That's exciting. So this tea, the Bigelow family, the frauds that they are, used to advertise it as the only tea grown in North America. Untrue. It's been untrue for I don't know how long. For a while. They've since pivoted to saying that this tea is from a truly very special place, which, that's a type of verbal diarrhea I expect from, I don't know, myself. God, that's bad. I'm sorry. Nah, I'm annoyed. Okay. The grassiness is fading. No, it's in there. It's more of a cut grass, I'd say now. That wind's gonna be great for the microphone. The smell is diminished. If we keep brewing this, eventually there'll be nothing left in here because it'll all just keep ending up in this cup, which will then end up in my mouth. So now that they, can't really say that this is the only tea grown in North America without lying, in addition to saying it's from a truly very special place, they say this is the only place in North America where you can see hundreds of thousands of tea bushes growing, which would make one think that it's the only tea grown in North America, but the claim is literally one about scale, that they are the only operation of that scale in North America, which I don't know if that's entirely true, but regardless, the sort of back package fluff of which my frickin' ex-wife used to have much of before, well, she didn't anymore, am I right? Oh, that's bitter. That sort of back package fluff really tricks you into believing that this is the only American tea that exists. And it's not. There's more. And they get a lot better because the rest of them are kind of grown by nerds who really want to make good tea and who aren't, I don't know, the Bigelow family. Okay, we got a real bitter steep on that. I definitely overfilled the Gaiwan slightly. This tea's just so finicky to brew like this. It's not what it was made for at all. Okay, we can fight through the bitterness though, and I can use my words to describe, to verbally diarrhea forth a description. Toasted cereal. Chunky. Real chunky. Ooh, so what kind of varietal do we have here? We do know its origin, which is nice. They very much advertise that they are South Carolina grown. You can go and you can visit. You can touch these leaves. Maybe one of you already has. Your filthy, grubby hands have touched these things that are putting right into my beautiful, supple mouth. Original origin unknown. Their website says both China is where they got the trees, bushes from originally, and China and India. Which is... maybe they got it from both. Maybe they have multiple varieties. Oh my god, something just bit my butt. Ow! God. Why is this happening to me? The smell is it's really gone down. It's almost like this tea wasn't made for this. That color is really nice though, that red. It's beautiful. Look at that. Not so much, but that's gorgeous. I wish you tasted like that. So maybe they're growing trees that are originally from China and from India. I don't think they are. I don't think the Bigelow family would put forth that much effort. I'm thinking it's all Chinese trees. I think it's the Camellia sinensis variety and not the Camellia sinensis assamica variety that are usually grown in India. Because this is a first flush. Really, the only tea that really cares so much about first flush, unless this is just a marketing gimmick, which I suppose it probably is Darjeeling. And Darjeeling tea is usually the Camellia sinensis variety. It's the same as the Chinese teas. Okay, a little grassier. Little bit of astringency. It's not bad. It's you can deal with some. Don't look at that. I got wounded on the way here. Look at what I do for you people. You're so ungrateful. Oh god. I have to eat every cup. They do a lot more teas than this. They have like a breakfast blend, a black tea. It is not a first flush, a green tea. A bunch of flavored teas. But I got this, and I also got, what you will find out in the future maybe, is their green tea. Because I'm not really into flavored teas. They're really just a way to, like, I don't know. It's how companies can kind of mask mediocre tea with fake vanilla or peach ring candy flavor or, like, I don't know, marital distress flavor. Not my thing. I like when tea tastes like tea. And it's hard for tea to taste like tea when something else that tastes like something else is in there and it's yelling louder than the tea that tastes like tea. And that's the flavor I want. You know, I want to taste America. I want to taste the terroir of these leaves, you know? Tell me, America, what do you taste like? What do you taste like? I didn't actually eat that. It went off camera, hopefully. And don't make those easy jokes about what you think America tastes like, because I'm not doing it. And hopefully you're better than that too. No one needs to say any of that we're all thinking. First flush. What is it? Who is it? What are? A flush is a harvest, and this is the first harvest or the first flush of the season. It's the first new growth in the spring. It's supposed to be, lighter, crisper, fresher, a little more astringent than the subsequent, darker, louder, fuller flushes. And to sort of preserve that fresh spring flavor, even though this is labeled as a black tea, these are processed a lot more like a green tea. They're less processed. They're less oxidized. And so this has actually a lot more in common with the flavors of a green tea than a black tea, which is interesting. Oh, I feel a bit chunky. Flavor does not come through very strong. This recommends boiling water. I don't think that's the best way to go. This is around 200 in theory. That's what I'm trying for with it. If my sort of mystical Pythagorean, mathematical adventures were correct, this should be at like 200, which is as good as you're going to get for this. And it's still not very good because it's not made to be put in a gaiwan, but I did it anyway, because that's how I make tea. They also recommend boiling for this and for their green tea. I think they just put that in all their bags, which is a bad idea. It's not a good idea. It's like, I don't know, the internal combustion engine or nuclear weapons or Taco Bell or Waddy the Frog, the Charleston Tea Gardens mascots that looks kind of horrifying. It's a bad idea. Don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do that. Do not listen to the treacherous and nefarious Bigelow family no matter what you do. Especially you, Lillian. I'm going for some pretty quick steeps here. I don't know. There's not a good way to do this. I've tried a lot of things. Relatively quick. Oh. The ant is gonna talk to the ant. That's like a religious symbol for you, I bet. Wow. Hey, speaking of amphibian mammalian grotesqueries that cause night terrors, in 1987, this was made the official tea of the White House. The Reagan White House. So, thanks, Bigelow family. Really trying to go down in my estimation severely here. Let's sniff. It's the same smells. It's the same. This tea doesn't change. It's not made to change. You're static. You're not like Ronald Reagan's decaying corpse. This all puts me in mind of a joke I heard once. I was walking through West Texas one day. It was a hot day. It was the summer, the dog days of summer even. And because of this horrible and oppressive heat, I went into a convenience store to buy myself an iced cream confectionery to eat and cool myself down. And by the time I walked out of the store with it had already melted. This tea doesn't stand up to a lot of steeps. We're already, we're running a little low on the flavor here, which is about normal. I think I get about 4 to 5, God, I do not want to get in there and sip that sucker. I get about 4 to 5 steeps out of this that are good. But, that are okay. They're not amazing. They're fine. You're okay. Let's drink the rinse. That's fun. That now, this tastes fruity, this tastes chocolatey. It's a little bitter because it's been brewing this entire time. In addition to all that, there's like a big, the sort of dark fruit chocolate notes that you'd get out of like a nilgiri or an Assam tea, I feel like. It's kind of fun. That's why you should drink the rinse. It tastes totally different when you go back for it because of comparison tasting. We're continuing the trend here of me forgetting almost. Oh, everything's breaking up in here real bad. Alright, Charleston Tea Garden. You get to join the super tea I'm creating. Oh my god. There's still stuff stuck in my teeth. How much do we want? I don't know. That's about a leaf. We'll put a little more in for luck. You got some stem in there. This is some stemmy stuff. Much like my frickin' ex-wife, am I right? What? What does that mean? Hey, this ant's in the water. Much like my frickin' ex-wife, am I right? Is this worth it? No. The novelty is nice. Getting this tea grown in America. I guess worth it's a very relative thing. It's okay. It's not that amazing. It's nice to taste something that was grown in the States that I could sort of go to pretty easily and touch with my grubby hands and my clean feet, but if that is irrelevant, then so is this tea.